right into current events. These are all events that have just happened over since the last episode 4. So here, the first one would be Ray Borg announces his retirement from MMA.
Yeah, this one's really sad. I'll go ahead and read the tweet. Been in this game a solid 14 years. Never did I think retirement would come at an age of 27. I'm 28 right now. But some decisions are harder than others. I have to make sure I am making the right one for my family. I appreciate all the love the MMA community has shown for my family over the years, but it may be time to move on to the next chapter of my life. Much love, everyone.
Yeah, man. I'm sad that he's leaving, but like I understand it. Like I get it.
On the last podcast, we touched on it a little bit. You know, he has had these, so many scenarios that come into play in his fight career that has prevented him from being able to reach pinnacles that he believed he would. And at the age of 27, some people would say that's their prime. Others would say it's time to hang it up. I'm not too mad at him hanging up the gloves. At this point, when you go through all of these experiences, you've lived a full life, right, through the MMA career. So
yeah,
at this point, preserve your health. And
I'm on the same boat with him because his son and my son kind of went through the similar thing. So I could get it. He's kind of over it, or he's just, done. Do some other things. Family comes first. So.
How I look at it is, physical pain is one thing, but when you have mental exhaustion, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
And you can't go into a fight mentally exhausted or with all those things on your plate. It's counteractive.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot when you go into a fight. You shouldn't have a bunch of things weighing on you,
absolutely.
And that's a lot. That's a lot to take on.
It's a whole lot. So I'm not mad at it. I do wish him the best in his career outside of fighting. We want you to thrive, especially, given the scenario with your son. We just want the best for you, and I'm not mad at this at all.
Yeah, man, I'm happy for you. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, next up.
All right, on to the next. So I'm not too happy about this.
You already got the giggles, bro. So.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, so TJ Dillashaw announced his return will be here soon, and he's ready to reclaim what's his. I don't really think it is his, but...
So, for people that don't know, TJ Dillashaw tested positive for... I forgot the name.
I don't recall either, but it was something pretty much that you had to know what you're doing, and he was able to hide it. He was able to cycle off, and he admitted it. He didn't think that he would be able to make that weight cut and still be at top performance. So he had a little juice, a little help. And
yeah, and it was a, if I remember correctly, it was an injection where it could possibly make your blood thicker.
Yep. So
you have to always monitor it. So it wasn't like I got something from GNC and I've been taking it. This was like black level.
Real deal.
Was it a black belt?
I would say it's from the black market. Straight out of the dark web, my boy found a hookup, and which actually didn't really help him too much because he got dropped.
Well, he dropped a lot of weight to fight Cejudo, right? He dropped the 10 pounds?
Yeah, he did. He didn't look that good.
Super thin.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. I'm never a fan of people dropping down. And then the fact that he added these performance-enhancing drugs only just, probably destroyed his body, really.
Well, how do you feel when he made the announcement? Like, he apologized for it. Like, I think he did apologize. He admitted his wrongs.
At a certain point, you have to kind of count your marbles, right? Like, he realized, hey, I made a mistake here. I got caught. It's kind of like when you get caught with your hand in the cookie jar. You just kind of like, okay, you caught me. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done this, and I know I was wrong. And, you say everything that you have to say to appease whatever people are on your side, whoever people are on your side. But I've never been
your sponsors, everybody.
Yeah, I've never been the biggest TJ Dillashaw fan. And once that news came out that he did test positive, just the respect went out the window, And so, with that being said, Aljamain Sterling did respond with some pretty interesting tweet. And I'll let you go ahead and read that.
All right, he says, those tricks are old, man. These new kids on the block, and I'm not even talking about me, win 1 or 2 fights, and then maybe he can have a shot at my throne.
So he's already proclaiming himself as the champion.
Yeah, well, Aljamain Sterling is next up to fight for the belt, isn't he?
He is, and I do think he'll take that. I do see him. He's just stylistically, overall, he's a well-rounded fighter, and at that division, he's still a big man. He's got strength, power, technique. finesse.
That will be an exciting fight to watch, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, getting into that tweet, I think he has to fight like 3 times in order to even be in the top 5. And this is why I say that. You've had a 2-year layoff, and also you got busted for performance-enhancing drugs. So you need to start at the bottom and work your way up. Prove that you were a number 1 contender. Prove that you had something to offer before you started taking those performance-enhancing drugs.
I say give him someone in the top 10. Because he was the champion. They just, they stripped him.
But he took performance-enhancing drugs. Oh. All that goes out.
I'm just saying.
This is just my opinion. All that goes out the window.
No, you're right.
I mean, you're not a legitimate top 10 fighter if you're taking performance-enhancing drugs. I mean, I just don't give him any value.
To counter that, there's a lot of fighters who are.
We're not talking John Jones, okay? That was a microgram, okay? It was the smallest.
Well, no, not even John Jones. I'm just saying there's a lot of fighters who are under the radar because they're not that mainstream yet.
Hey, if you
not that top level fighter yet.
I think the comedian Joey Diaz said it the best. Like if you cheat and you got away with it, you didn't cheat. So I mean, that's just it's tough, man. I'm all about morals and values, and I truly don't like when somebody's literally, injecting something in their body to get
an edge.
Better. Right.
Yeah.
Now, if we're talking about a different sport, it's purely for entertainment, like baseball, football. Okay, that's cool. But we're talking about fighting. Like this is just more risk.
Yeah.
So if on the entertainment side of it, sure, I'd like to see these guys ripped and strong, but realistically, I mean, look what happened to TJ Dillashaw. He lost a lot of weight, and he did that to try to get through, and he got dropped. I mean, his chin was not there. So, yeah. Sorry, brother.
We'll see. We'll
win some fights. I might actually like you. Oh, got technical difficulties. I got to stop touching this. I'm sorry, guys. I'm very twitchy. I apologize. Yeah, win a couple fights. I might give you some respect.
Yeah. Well, on to the next one, man.
Coming from a guy sitting on a mic, that is. So the next tweet, Twitter's been real hot lately,
dude.
But
well, for the fighters, Dominic Reyes came out with the tweet, and I felt like it was kind of out of the blue.
I didn't perceive it as out of the blue because he has been doing a little bit of a press run because he has that. Yeah, he did that little show with Ariel Helwani. Yeah, where he's talking about what happened with John Jones and such, and he's got a fight with Blachowicz coming up. So,
you know what? Yeah, he's probably doing a lot.
He's doing a little promo, doing a little marketing, getting his name out there. But this is the most perfect tweet. From Dominic Reyes, because I'm a John Jones fan.
Two John Jones. Yeah,
two John Jones.
No, go ahead. You take it.
If you don't mind. Yeah. So he had responded, "Hey, Johnny Bones, thanks for the experience, man. I wish you the best of luck in your journey. I know things got a little crazy, but I just wanted to be pushed beyond my perceived limits by the light heavyweight GOAT again. God bless, and God willing, we get to dance under those lights again." That gives me the chills, man, because all beef aside, all animosity aside, Dominic Reyes is a very mature person for this. This is great. This made me respect him a lot more, and it made me want to be a fan of his.
Well, I think I have a feeling he will win that light heavyweight belt.
Yeah, I agree.
And I also have a feeling Jones might get that heavyweight belt.
I agree.
Champ versus champ, they do the rematch. Bro.
That would be, and that's the thing is like, the story's kind of there. It just has to line up, right? The structure is there. The foundation is built. Have these guys win the belt, defend it a couple times, and then boom, have them lock heads.
Super fight. Raider Stadium in Las Vegas.
Woo! I'm in there like swimwear.
Bro, that's going to be a show on the Ringside Beer Show website. Watch.
And they're like swimwear.
All right, man. Well, this was... I felt this one was out of the blue for sure.
This was for sure out of the blue.
Diego Sanchez, I signed my last contract with the UFC, and I'm going to ride these last 4 fights out, and I'm done. I can see the end of the tunnel, but I'm not afraid of it anymore.
Wow. So my first question is, why would Dana White offer this man 4 more fights? Why?
I don't know. He's a vet. He might need the money. I don't know.
There may be some sort of personal friendship there. I understand, Diego Sanchez was on the first Ultimate Fighter, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's respect there. And okay, so with all that being set aside, let's be realistic on the fighter that Diego Sanchez is, okay?
Well,
as of now.
Yeah, well, I mean, he had plenty of wars. He's fought, I don't even know how many fights, like his record. Like, but yeah, he has been losing a lot more at the end of his career.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get at. He's not technical anymore. It's more just like he's
entertaining,
a brawler. Though. I mean, I'm not entertained. Are you?
You're not entertained?
No, not at all.
Well, if he fights top level competition, yeah, I'm not. Obviously, we know how that's going to end, right?
Correct.
But if he fights other veterans, other people that also kind of went up with his.
The only fight I want to see him fight again is Clay Guida, and that's because they both are brawlers, and they both are at the end of their career, and they're both just willing to risk it. Right. Yeah. And they did have Fight of the Year and made it to the Hall of Fame. So this is just my thing, and this is what I'm getting at. You can clearly see he's been through way too many wars that have literally taken effect on his day-to-day life. And this is all with respect. Like, I know I'm talking smack all the time. I guess I got to be the heel, right? I'm the Chael Sonnen of the Ringside Beer Show. But I'm just being honest with you about how I feel, man. Like, this guy is a product of CTE, and he's got to stop fighting. Yeah. Like, he should stop fighting right now. It's only going to get worse for the guy. He's taken way too much punishment. It hurts me to see that the UFC would even offer this guy formal fights. It's like, do you not care about the health of your fighters? I know I'm coming real strong right now. I'm coming real strong. But this is honestly my opinion. It's like oh, no, bro. The key's open. And
no, I'm just saying mine because I'm like, hey, worked with them before.
Sit back and relax and enjoy the show. I'm going to take the show over. This guy needs to stop fighting, seriously. The end of the tunnel was way behind you. You just got you just can't see. Everything's black because you got knocked out so much. So the end of the tunnel's already past you, brother. Please hang it up, man, for the health, the benefit of your health, for just the benefit of your career, right? Like, I don't want to see you go out on a losing streak like this, man. Like, stop taking these fights, brother. Just hang it up.
I think if he wins his next fight, I don't even want to see him with the top 20 person in his division. I just want to see him.
Somebody from the Contender Series?
Someone fresh. Dude, someone fresh. Literally. Someone fresh, like off the Contender Series.
I think that's
let him get his last win and then right off into the sunset. I think the 4 contract, I think that's like a standard UFC contract.
Might be.
So if he gets his last win and he retires, I'll be happy with that. Just be done, because
if you win and you retire, I'm okay with that. But if just one more fight, dude, and that's it, bro.
Well,
please.
I think with the UFC, it's like, hey, we could.
They're making money off him, but personally, I think it's because everybody wants to see him lose at this point. I mean,
really?
Okay, so
I want to see him win.
When he got his new life coach, personal trainer, best friend, I truly just got turned off. I mean, this guy's just filling Diego Sanchez's head with lies and slander and false belief, and then of course he's going to take that. He's a fighter. He
doesn't fight out of John Winkleson anymore, right?
No, he doesn't. I think he's
he didn't
he just does
self trains or
exactly. He just does it for himself.
If I remember correctly, he had this beef with John Jones, and then he was just, I'm out, right?
CTE.
So,
who would beef with John Jones?
Oh, I mean, you got a whole list of people.
We got a couple people that are trying to beef with John Jones. We'll explain that later.
All right, let's go.
You like how I set that up? I threw it off the backboard for you.
There you go, man.
Who wants to beef with John Jones? These two guys coming up here. So we're gonna get into some heavyweight drama here.
Yeah. So Stipe and NGANNOU, they tweeted. Stipe first. He says, Francis NGANNOU isn't exciting to me. Already put on a 25-minute clinic on how to beat him. Want a new challenge? Would love to box.
And NGANNOU's response was, "Is this your way of avoiding me?"
Now, what do you think of that?
With the rolling eyes emoji. I think Francis was spot on with that response. I don't see the fight going too much different than how it did the first time. I do think Francis is an all-around better fighter, but Stipe is the heavyweight GOAT, and I honestly don't think that Francis will take the belt from him. I got Stipe all day on that, but then that leads into other things. I do think Stipe does have some legitimacy when he says he wants a new challenge. He would like to box. He already put a 25-minute clinic on this guy, so I do agree with that. These are both true statements on both sides. It's kind of like there is truth to both.
Yeah, there is. I think Francis has a better shot at winning the next fight.
He has a better shot.
I think, because if he can stop the wrestling and land a punch, like
if he lands a punch, I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
it's kind of how it goes in any fight. Though everybody has a puncher's chance, right? But like he has,
But I think he has
a
way better chance now than he did before.
Yeah, absolutely. But with that being said, I mean, I'm still taking Stipe all day.
Now,
and I ain't gonna fold on that.
Now, this tweet by Francis, this was when did this get announced? On Friday?
Yeah, this was heavy.
So he tweets, "Wakanda forever, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman."
Wakanda forever.
And
man, this gives me the chills, bro.
That was so unexpected, but from what I was reading, everyone was, I guess, towards Chadwick. They were clowning him because he was losing weight.
Yeah, I had noticed. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
I had watched a show on Netflix with Kevin Hart, and he was pitching to Chadwick, come do this movie with me. This is like going to be such a beneficial movie. And I can kind of see there you can see he wasn't as interested, and it just all kind of just like hindsight, right? Like now looking back, I'm like, wow, he probably had some treatment he had to do. He probably was, not feeling well. He just didn't want to take on more tasks than what he already had. Or maybe it wasn't as important to his legacy to do that, or whatever the case may be. But I did notice over time he was getting a lot skinnier, and it looked like he was unhealthy to me. But this was way out of left field. I didn't know. He did a great job at.
Well, he did announce it, yeah.
Yeah, he did a great job at just continuing to just work and build his legacy, and that's respectable. I mean, we all feel things eventually, right? And nobody wants to hear somebody that's crying, and that's, poor me, feel bad for me. Nobody really enjoys that, right? It's a heavy burden. So the way he handled himself, I mean, it was just tremendous. It's just legends, man. Yeah, man.
It was tough to hear because he didn't announce anything. I was like, wow. And it was a shock because it felt like it just like a snap of a hand. He was gone.
Hurt the soul, man. 2020's got to end real soon, man. We're tired of it. We're over it. 2021, you're looking real good to us right now. Please be as beautiful as we think you're going to be.
Well, I mean, it can't be worse than 2020. So
why would you dare test fate like that?
Yeah.
Why would you dare test fate like that, brother?
I'll say it.
You're nuts, bro. That was that guy. I know I'm bold and I'm the heel right now, but this guy, that was a bold statement. No, I'm just kidding, bro.
Oh, no. Hey, well, hopefully it doesn't get worse.
Oh, God. No, it's okay. We're going to speak positive things into existence. And 2021 is going to be the best year for the Ringside Beer Show.
Yep. Let's do it, man.
Let's go. On to the next set of tweets.
Well, here your boy, Johnny Bones, just freaking going off on Twitter with all these tweets right here.
That boy got the Twitter fingers going.
Clicking and clacking right here. Clicking and clacking.
A mile a minute right now. But, I mean, he's spitting some facts. So if I may, I'm going to go ahead and start with this.
Yeah, read these, man.
The first tweet, Stipe does not want to fight Francis again because of the first fight wasn't really close. I'll let you go ahead and read the second one.
He says, looking at it from Stipe's point of view, fighting Francis again is definitely more of a lose situation than a win.
Yeah, Stipe asked for a new challenge. Why not fight the light heavyweight GOAT? Besides, we're way closer in size. What's more exciting than that?
Yeah, he says, by the time he heads up, my body weight should be right where it needs to be. The fight lines up perfectly.
Can you read this next one? Because I want to read the last one.
My eyes are...
Okay, I'll go ahead and read both. Stipe versus Francis is a high risk, low reward. Very true. Yep. Stipe versus myself actually makes a lot of sense for the both of us. Now, you actually have a super fight. Stipe loses the fight, it's gone. And the last tweet. Brock, I'll beat your ass too. That's the only cuss word you're going to ever hear me say on this podcast, but I'm just reading the tweet. Okay?
Yeah, that's from John Jones.
That's from John Jones.
He makes a lot of good points because that is a super fight, but I think we did discuss it on the last episode that Jones can't go jump NGANNOU. NGANNOU has rightfully earned that fight again.
Well, I mean, he has, but it's also up to Stipe.
But if... It doesn't even matter because if Stipe wins or NGANNOU wins, that's going to be a super fight with John Jones regardless, whoever that is.
Yeah, it's a win-win for John Jones, and I do agree with that, but I would prefer to see him fight Stipe.
Now,
There's more value to it.
Well, there is, but Stipe is more of a well-rounded fighter, experienced, but the danger is NGANNOU because that's such a question mark. So if Jones fights NGANNOU, that possibility of of Jones getting knocked out, could happen. Because NGANNOU could just go in there, rush him, and he's a lot bigger fighter than Jon Jones.
It's very true. I mean, I'm torn because one side of me wants to see Jon go up to heavyweight and fight for the belt. The other side of me is a purist, and I truly understand that you have to get in line. Now, if you take a fight at heavyweight, you knock somebody, a top 5 contender, and you knock them out viciously, you've solidified your spot.
Yeah.
But it is all up to Stipe. Stipe can say, I'm not going to fight Francis. Now, the UFC can say,
cool story, bro.
Cool story, bro. Give me that belt. But I think Stipe is in a bit of a position. He just beat Daniel Cormier. He is in a bit of a position to say, hey, you can have NGANNOU versus Blades or Lewis. I'll take on Jon. I'll knock him out. I'll finish him, whatever he's got to do. I don't think that'll happen. But this is just coming from the mind of Stipe, and then I'll take on those winners. Because then at that point, look, I took out Jon, no issue. Cool, now let me go ahead and fight Francis, and then I'll retire or whatever.
I don't know, man, because that's super unfair for Francis. But I mean,
when has the UFC been that fair?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That you have to have the Stipe and NGANNOU second fight. Just let that play out, however it's going to play out, because either way, it's going to be a super fight for Jon Jones.
Yeah,
whoever wins that.
Yeah,
and I don't think you give NGANNOU Curtis Blades or Derek Lewis because they're already set to fight each other.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying you put Francis on the shelf a little bit. These are all just ideas, right? Like, I personally want to see Francis versus Stipe and then Jon go up because, like we're saying, as purists, we don't want to see, the number one contender get left out. Yeah. Unless he's hurt or whatever the case may be. But, he's able to fight, put him in.
Yeah.
But on the other side of it, my eyes raise so much bigger. Like, my eyes get so much bigger when it's Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic.
I don't know. My eyes are...
GOAT.
Well, since you put it that way, but, I mean, I feel NGANNOU would be a much more dangerous fighter because he's much more unpredicted.
It is.
Unpredictable fighter.
I just think, like, the juice, the hype, the momentum behind that fight is way bigger of a super fight than the number, the number two fight.
I'm happy with either or. Whoever Jones is going to fight, either or. I'm happy. Yeah. I'm happy whatever fight is set up because we just, we just need some clarification on that.
I agree with that as well.
Next up, we have Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle.
Yeah, on the Brock Lesnar news. So go ahead, man.
I remember watching that guy when I was young.
Woo!
So his on the Ariel Helwani MMA show, his quote in quotations, I know he said that he's retired. The one fight he wants, and I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but he wants to go up against Jon Jones in quotations.
Now, in the meantime, Stipe and NGANNOU hash that out. How about Jones versus Brock Lesnar? Because let's be real,
that
Bones would win. I think Bones would win that so easy.
100%. Yeah, I think he would win that fairly easy. As
far as like a big super fight, or I would say this fight would sell extremely well.
I like this idea.
You know what I mean?
This is such a great idea because then, okay, he's a former UFC champion, heavyweight. Yep. He's defended the belt once or twice, whatever it was, way back in the day. This is a good introduction fight for Jon Jones to take. Big super fight, make a lot of money, right? Build up that interest in your brand again.
Exactly.
And you're at heavyweight, and then take on the winner of Stipe. I love that.
How long do you think Brock needs to get the juice out of?
USADA makes exceptions. So.
Oh, that's right, because he fought.
Made the exception for him that one time.
Mark on a UFC 200 came in short notice. Obviously, everyone knew he was on the juice to the gills, and Mark Hunt was pissed.
Yeah. So. That poor guy, he fell off the face of the earth, man. You don't hear nothing from him anymore.
No, he's gone. He left the UFC.
Well, because he was suing him, so they made sure that, you ain't got nothing to do with us.
No.
You ain't with us, you're against us. But with all that set aside, this is honestly a great pitch, and I'm pretty sure the matchmakers have flirted with this idea, and I will put $1 million of somebody else's money that Jon Jones would not turn down that fight.
No, because you're doing cross promotion. You got your WWE fans.
You want Deontay Wilder money?
Oh yeah,
that's the fight.
That's the fight right there.
But do it in 2021, because that way pay-per-views are a little better. The world's kind of calmed down a little bit.
Well, I think right now would be a perfect time because
Get that weight
a
up.
lot of people are watching the UFC and just combat sports in general because boxing's barely coming back. NBA, MLB, everyone's kind of doing their own thing right now, and the ratings are a little bit low on everything else. So why not do it when everyone's watching?
Yeah.
So
I mean, if they make the exception, but the thing is, John needs to put on some weight. I mean, he's been doing those deadlifts and.
Well, that's what he's doing now. But Stipe's not going to fight because he just fought DC.
Yeah, he's got to heal up.
He's got to heal up. So let me throw this one at you.
Too much damage though.
Christmas time, Brock Lesnar versus John Jones.
All I want for Christmas is that stinking fight. That's all I want.
Someone hit it the remix.
Hey, you remember that song back in the day? All I want for Christmas is my 2 front teeth.
Yeah,
maybe you don't, but I had my So back when I was younger, I had my 2 front teeth knocked out by a soccer ball when I was young. But they were my baby teeth. So I had to wait a little while for my adult teeth to grow in. So every Christmas, my pops would always sing that. What you want for Christmas? Your 2 front teeth?
Oh, that's messed up.
Bro. And what's funny is my cousin, her son, Aiden, he had his tooth knocked out as well. And it was a baby tooth, but it took forever to grow back. And I would harass that kid. Hey, you want a gift, bro? I'll get you a tooth. And ever since then, man, I like think back and I'm like, dang. This is literally generations of torture.
What's going on with your front teeth, guys?
Oh, hey, we're not afraid of some confrontation. Let's just put it that way.
You got to get on that crest, homie.
Hey, bro. Veneers.
Well, anyways, we already saw that one. And then, so a bunch of DC news came about because today he was on the Ariel Helwani show, the DC and Ariel Helwani.
Yeah, they're back.
And he finally came out and gave a bunch of answers, so...
Yeah, he finally spilled a lot of stuff, and we'll go ahead and start there. So, in quotations, Daniel Cormier explaining why he didn't leave the gloves on the cage, in the cage after the loss. So, in quotations, I think in the standings of the world, there's a difference between Stipe and I. And if I'm in there and I take my gloves off, it's almost like stealing his thunder. I wasn't going to do that.
I like that. He was giving Stipe his moment. He wasn't going to be like, oh, I'm going to take a little bit of that thunder, right?
So mature. I mean, that's, when because he knew he was going into that fight, he was going to retire.
Yeah.
And to not make it about yourself, right? He knows he has a lot of fans and a lot of respect and a lot of acknowledgement that he is one of the best. I think that was such an amazing thing to do.
It's a classy move to do, man.
Super classy, man. I'm so glad you didn't steal any thunder from Stipe. Yeah. It would be like pooping on him, like, oh, you beat me, well, here, I'm going to take over my side. Like John Jones loves to do that to Daniel Cormier, and I love it, right, because I'm a John Jones fan. But on the other side of it, as a purist, it was so respectable. It made me so much more of a Daniel Cormier fan that he would do something like that. And that he knows, like, hey, if I did something like that, I would take away from him. Yeah,
and that was MMA Junkie reported on that. And then
they seem to know everything, bro.
And then they asked him too, "Is like, what did you think? Do you think you win the fight, or do you think he won?" He replied, he comments, "I thought he won the fight. He did a good job, and he deserves to get his hand raised on that night. He won that fight, and that's awesome. That's straight to the point. He's like, yeah, he was the better man that night.
Just goes to show you, he knows fighting, right?
Yeah.
When you sit back and you watch that fight, I mean, it was great. Excuse me. Ooh, puberty's hitting late. It was great. It was great. And it was one of, back and forth. But realistically, Stipe did do a good job. He did deserve to get his hand raised that night. He did win the fight.
Yeah.
So
he made adjustments in the fight. He, when it was a 4th and 5th round, he put DC up against the cage and had the clinch a lot higher. So DC wasn't expecting, and that's what he was talking about on the show today, on the Ariel Helwani show.
Yeah, Stipe went in like fully aware of how to beat DC, and he put the plan into action, man. It was such a good thing to see. I was happy.
Yeah, it was pretty cool seeing DC give him the nod. Like, he won that fight fair and square. So
yeah. Also, we got Daniel Cormier talking about if John Jones will fare well at heavyweight, and his response is, if you have that skill set that John Jones has, it doesn't matter what weight class. He'll be able to compete. That's a fact. You can love him, you can hate him, but that's a fact. This guy is just so freaking mature, man.
Well, I mean, those are honest answers. Like, dude,
Yeah, but-
John Jones has the skills, you know, and DC has fought in both weight classes, so he can. If anybody, he's the perfect person to answer this, you know.
Yeah. Well, when we're talking about from a fighter's perspective, right? These guys believe they're the best in the world. They know they can beat anybody, right? Mm-hmm. And once somebody proves you wrong and proves they're the better fighter, you can have some animosity. I mean, you know, they don't like each other, but Daniel Cormier has been nothing but gracious to John Jones after the fact. Yeah. I mean, it just, once again, it just gives me so much like belief that Daniel Cormier is such a good person, inside and outside the ring. It just makes me like him so much more.
Absolutely,
He's makes me like him,
dude. He's a great dad. Like, he's a great person, and, you know, great dad. His shows are super entertaining.
Great commentator.
Great commentary, man. I like when he shows his real true self. When Rose Namajunas won against Dog Rose. Oh my god, dude, that was like, it's awesome because you saw him. You don't see him, the professional commentator behind.
It's not a front. There's no fronts, no. Like, you know, fake persona that he's trying to do. No,
the fan came out of him. Like, he enjoys watching the fights just as much as we do. And we were doing the same thing. Like, oh my god, we're just jumping. And
it was crazy.
Yeah, so I like him as a commentator. I like his show. He's a great.
I just
great
like
person
this guy
to hear.
Overall, all the way through and through. And my perception of him had changed. You know, once again, I'll say it before, I'll say it again. I'm a John Jones fan. Yeah. I'll get him tattooed on me. Okay, that's how much I'm a fan.
Well, I don't know.
I'm serious. No, I would love to have a leg sleeve eventually of, you know, the people that I respect and I aspire, like, that I believe are the greatest. And for sure, LeBron James is on there,
bro.
And Anna's probably gonna hate me for saying this because she does not want me to get LeBron James.
She's gonna be watching the show. She's like, "What the hell?"
But the thing is, I would love to get Kobe too. Like, these are all little small things that my life has been influenced by.
Do we get 1,000 subs? I want to see that tattoo,
bro. 1,000 subscribers. I swear to whoever you believe in, I will get a John Jones portrait. I mean, the funding, I got to worry about, you know, portraits are expensive. But I got a couple of tattoo artists that I would love to have give me a John Jones image on my leg.
Yeah, man.
1,000 subscribers.
1,000 subscribers. He'll do
it.
I'll make sure he'll do it.
Yeah.
Next up, the DC, his predictions, NGANNOU's to finish Stipe Miocic if he returns too soon. And he quotes, I think Francis does knock out Stipe out this time, unless, again, he goes for a long time and he refreshes his chin. Took too much damage in those fights between him and I.
It's kind of true.
Yeah, because if he comes back too soon, that's what I'm saying. Ngannou could get that knockout, dude. You could get that knockout because he touched up Stipe in the first fight.
Yeah,
and then
you know, when you go into a fight, you literally leave a piece of you in that cage every time.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, I mean, Stipe freaking left a lot with DC and, you know, just all his wars, really.
Right. So I do think they have to give a little bit of time for Stipe to heal up properly. But the UFC wants to make this fight, and they want to make it now.
Well, I think they should let him heal up. Do it for 2021, early 2021, when the, you know, people are starting to come out.
Yeah, when the world opens up.
Hopefully. And then, if anything, just have John Jones, Brock Lesnar Christmas, dude. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I like that.
I haven't heard this from anywhere else. This is coming straight from the Ringside Beer show. I'm just saying.
Well, you predicted the Conor Floyd fight, so this might be the number 2 thing that you predict.
I'm just saying. Brock Lesnar, Jones, Christmas time. Why not?
It only makes sense.
Yeah.